I understand where you're coming from. But I need you to understand where I'm coming from.
On what was already shaping up to be an eventful Monday Night Raw, the backstage area erupted with unspoken emotions and unresolved rivalries when Dean Ambrose, long silent, long absent, made a shocking appearance and delivered a chilling message to his former Shield brother, Seth Rollins. The interaction wasn't televised in full, but what unfolded was enough to stir deep emotions among longtime WWE fans and signal that history may be on the verge of repeating itself, or being violently rewritten. Shield Brotherhood, a fractured legacy. To understand the gravity of this encounter, you have to look back at where it all began. The Shield. When Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose first stormed into WWE in 2012, dressed in tactical vests and brimming with aggression, they changed the landscape of the company overnight. Dominating factions, challenging authority, and redefining what a wrestling stable could be, the Shield wasn't just a team, it was a movement. But as with most dominant alliances, cracks began to form. In 2014, the unthinkable happened. Seth Rollins, the so-called architect of the Shield, betrayed his brothers with a steel chair to the back, aligning himself with the authority. It wasn't just betrayal, it was desecration. Ambrose took it personally, and what followed were years of brutal matches, barbed wire promos, and attempts at reconciliation that never truly stuck. Fast forward to 2025. Rollins is once again one of the top names in WWE, with murmurs that he's preparing to initiate peace talks, or perhaps a reunion with Roman Reigns, now the exiled tribal chief. The Shield might be gone, but the shadows of its legacy loom larger than ever. And Ambrose? He hasn't forgotten. Or forgiven. The hallway confrontation. Raw goes cold. The tension backstage on Raw reached a boiling point just minutes after Seth Rollins dropped a cryptic promo during his segment in the ring. In it, Rollins hinted that perhaps the time had come to settle old scores and revisit alliances of the past, namely, Roman Reigns. The crowd buzzed, unsure if this was the beginning of a Shield reunion or merely a psychological tactic against whoever held the power at the top. But before he could even catch his breath backstage, Rollins found himself cornered. The hallway was dim, lit only by the ambient glow of exit signs and production rigging. Out of the shadows stepped Dean Ambrose, eyes cold, demeanor tense, the unpredictable edge that had made him famous, still very much alive. Rollins turned, momentarily stunned, and their eyes locked. For a moment, there was silence. Then Ambrose spoke just one line. The Shield may be history, but the past isn't dead. One drenched in history. Those words weren't a threat. They were a promise, steeped in years of betrayal, loss, and fractured camaraderie. This wasn't just about old wounds, it was about Ambrose drawing a line in the sand. He made it clear, if Rollins planned to approach Roman Reigns, whether out of nostalgia or strategy, there would be consequences. Ambrose has always been the most volatile of the three. While Reigns became the face of the company, and Rollins carried multiple titles, Ambrose remained the enigma, the rebel who walked away from the WWE at the height of his popularity, only to return on his own terms. This confrontation felt like more than a protective warning. It felt personal. Sources backstage reported that Rollins, usually confident and composed, appeared visibly rattled. Yet his resolve didn't waver. He didn't back down. Instead, he stood tall, his body language saying what his words didn't. Try me. Roman Reigns, the catalyst for chaos. At the center of all this, as always, is Roman Reigns. The former undisputed WWE Universal Champion may not have been present in the arena, but his influence was everywhere. Since losing his title and stepping away from active competition, Reigns has remained a symbol, a looming figure whose legacy still dictates the behavior of everyone in the upper card. Rollins' intention to reach out to Roman could stem from multiple motivations. Does he seek to rekindle the bond that once made the Shield invincible? Is he trying to lure Roman back into the spotlight for one final run? Or, more cynically, is it a ploy to provoke Ambrose and draw Roman into a confrontation that would bring the three men back into a collision course once again? If history is any indication, nothing involving these three is ever simple. Behind the curtain, the real-life stakes. Outside the scripted storylines, the potential clash between Rollins, Ambrose, and Reigns also reflects real-life stakes. Fans know that Ambrose, also known as Jon Moxley in AEW, has kept a deliberately low WWE profile since his exit. His return, even in a backstage segment, is massive. It blurs the lines between fiction and reality in a way that only wrestling can. This development raises significant questions about behind-the-scenes negotiations. Could this mean Ambrose has re-signed with WWE full-time? Or is he operating under a special appearance contract? And how does this impact current storylines involving World Championship contenders? A collision course set in motion. With Ambrose drawing the line and Rollins not backing down, it's difficult not to speculate about what comes next. The tension is palpable. Is this building toward a triple-threat redemption arc featuring all three former Shield members? Could we see a violent one-on-one clash between Ambrose and Rollins? Or perhaps an uneasy alliance between two of them that ultimately explodes in spectacular fashion? As the WWE Universe speculates, one thing is certain. This is no throwaway segment. The emotional weight of what happened in that hallway has set a chain reaction in motion. And once the past comes back to life in WWE, it rarely leaves quietly. The psychology of brotherhood and betrayal, the Shield wasn't just another stable. It was the heart of a generation. Their brotherhood, real and performed, formed the bedrock of their rise to fame. And that's what makes these encounters so loaded. Wrestling, at its best, mirrors real human relationships. The bonds, the betrayals, the moments you wish you could take back but can't. For Ambrose, this moment isn't just about stopping Rollins from approaching Reigns. It's about protecting what was once sacred. About guarding a memory from being tainted by manipulation or corporate agendas. About drawing a line between respect and exploitation. And for Rollins, it might be about redemption, or revenge, or legacy. But in wrestling, as in life, motivations are never just one thing. They're layered, complex, and constantly evolving. The WWE Universe Reacts social media exploded in the hours following Raw. Hashtags like "Was Shield Reunion," "Our Ambrose Returns," and "Rollins vs. Ambrose" began trending worldwide. Fan theories ranged from optimistic reunion scenarios to predictions of a blood-soaked feud. WWE has yet to release an official statement regarding Ambrose's status, but insiders say this is just the beginning of a larger arc planned for the summer months. Meanwhile, Roman Reigns, who has not posted on social media since WrestleMania, remains silent. But in WWE, silence is often more ominous than noise. What comes next? There's no confirmed match booked yet. No official promo announcing a confrontation. But the seeds are planted. And with Money in the Bank and SummerSlam approaching, WWE could be gearing up for one of the most emotionally charged storylines of the decade. Ambrose's return isn't just another segment. It's a revival of the most compelling brotherhood saga the WWE has seen in years. With the right build, this could culminate in a feud or reunion that defines 2025. Conclusion. Echoes of the Shield. The Shield was supposed to be invincible. They broke the rules, shattered barriers, and became legends. But time changes everyone, and what was once a brotherhood has now become a battlefield. Dean Ambrose's warning to Seth Rollins wasn't just about Roman Reigns. It was about legacy, identity, and the scars left behind by betrayal. As fans hold their breath for what comes next, one thing is clear. The past may be behind them, but it isn't dead.